A word for our listeners. Season 2 of Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It's not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our commandos uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring Johnny Brown, Ed Maudlin, Chris Dunn, and Matt Quiett, with John Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm Matt, and I'm here with John.
Hello.
And Cullen.
Still not in the credits.
And Edward.
Edwin.
Edwina.
No.
And Rob.
Hello.
And joining us as a very hostile guest,
Shirley. Hello.
Yeah, there you go. So, last time we spoke with Frau Koppen.
Yes.
And are we going to go talk with Dick Van Dyke?
I mean,
Yep.
if that's what you want.
Mr. Van Dyke.
It's you know, you guys lead the way. I just put the bait out there and
Sure.
and try to reel
Sure.
you in.
Sure.
Oh, here, look.
So
I've got this story that we're going to give you. But first, let's do all this other side quest stuff. Yeah. This game's only going to take 3 episodes, Matt.
No, I didn't. I never said that.
So, we're done at Frau Koppen's.
Yeah.
Where's so this other place is going to take a day there and back? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get started.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That all
Those are
sound
Collins.
So sound
Cullen.
good? No,
Oh,
it's
I
Rob.
think
Or
it's
Ed's.
Ed's.
It only took you guessing every name at the table.
That's because you won't let me call you by your full name, Edward.
We know.
My name's not Edward.
Edwina, sorry.
Edwin.
all right, back to the woods, back to the truck. Where do you want to? Do you want to check back in with the town, or you just want to drive?
I mean, or we should do
Or
that,
back
right?
with
Wing
headquarters.
Commander.
I'm assuming if there was anything going wrong in the town, would have heard.
Well,
I mean, we have patrols and.
I mean, you're a bit out now, but
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just asking you. You can drive on from here, or you can head back to the command center.
In
and,
which direction is Frau Koppen's house in relation to both the Van Dyke homestead and our home base?
Basically, the direction she gave you said you're going to head back towards town, but then hang a left at this particular fork in the road, and head south from where you're at.
Okay.
'Cause honestly, John forgot whether she lived north, south, east, or west from the village. But it's
And so we can head to the. Would you like to head to the Van Dyke residence?
and by residence, it is another village.
I don't. I really don't want to impede upon any duties that you guys have. But if we could head out there, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's just keep the ball rolling.
I see no problem in heading out there. We might be able to get some more answers for ourselves as well.
Do we have her? Does she have orders?
I just did I get any orders with the?
She's been assigned to you as an intelligence attaché.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure that us accompanying her isn't some giant violation of.
Oh no, you guys
what's
are
going on.
You
Okay.
guys are out here basically watching the border
Okay.
and dealing with anything that comes up. So this is totally within. Might be irregular, but
Yeah.
so is life these days.
Yeah.
So
All right. So we are heading to. Did you say his name was Leon Van Dyke?
Leon Van Dyke in the village of Solmay. ranked 64th in the most beautiful villages in Belgium, according to this website I found.
Nice.
Colin, tell us how it looks when you go there.
64th out of 80.
That's going to look.
So it's not that pretty.
Not that pretty, no.
Oh, wait, 64th in all of Belgium?
Out of 80.
64th out of 80.
In
There's
all
only
of
80
Belgium.
towns in Belgium.
80 villages.
Oh, okay.
This does not count cities.
All three of
on the-
those.
Yeah.
It's a failing grade, too.
Yeah.
Well, if you're grading on a curve, I mean, really, like 80th might be a complete shithole. 79 is like
Amazing.
really
but,
good.
you know,
yeah,
you got to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this place is really nice. Yeah, but it's only 64th nice.
The 80th is just Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Gary, Indiana of Belgium.
That's the name. That's what they say on the sign as you go in the town.
The Gary, Indiana, Belgium.
Sister city of
That's-
Gary, Indiana.
The stroopwafels have crack on them.
I wonder who their Michael Jackson is.
Oh, they have famous Belgian singers. You know, Jan.
One name. Jan.
Jan Hansen.
Okay, are we in the town yet?
So you're driving.
We've lost Shirley. That's too late. We've lost her.
So you're driving along, and you start. You see you enter the wilderness that is between the villages, and you're basically headed downhill from here, down the mountain. And you come across the first distant farm homestead that's on the road, and it's the middle of the day at this point. So it's not entirely surprising that you don't see any lights on in the windows. They wouldn't have lights on, wouldn't be burning candles or anything. But there's no activity to be seen as you drive past. And it takes a moment to drive. It's not like you're driving by a neighborhood house, and you just don't have time to see it. You're driving by a farm, and you don't see anything until just before you're about to basically re-enter the woods as you pass, when you see a scraggly brown dog limp out from behind a building.
Jack jumps out and says, "It's a wolf!"
But then, like I said, you're just...
What? So are we? I imagine us being in the back of a truck with the canvas top over it, and then
Yeah.
the driver's up in the cab.
Who's driving, by
Right.
the way?
I assume our driver.
I am.
Okay.
I have the
Loveridge
highest
is-
drive of
Okay.
30. We've
Okay.
established this long before now.
Is there
Yeah.
a window where he can hear us, or is it just that glass cab?
No, there's definitely a sliding, sliding window in the back.
Would you have it open?
No, I would close it because I don't want to talk. Yes, I would have it open.
You said we saw a dog limping. Is it injured? Or is it just
you
old?
would like I said, it's like right as you're about to pass by, you see it. So you would have to stop and go back in order to determine injured or age.
So no people, limping dog.
But I mean, who
In
knows?
the
Maybe
farm on the outside, and it's not very hot.
All right.
it's early spring, and at this point,
So they should be like getting the fields
Planting.
rather ready, right?
Okay. Everyone, just be on guard.
Don't trust the dog.
I don't trust the emptiness of the fields.
Okay. The dog probably did
I don't
it.
trust the dog either.
No, it's a dog because of his shifty eyes.
Right?
Just zoom in.
Yep.
So
So
she
you-
pulls her rifle around and sets it in her lap and loads.
Rifle or shotgun? Because
Whatever
I
you
didn't give
gave
you
me.
rifle. You said shotgun. I have an
Shotgun.
89-inch shotgun, so I wrote down 89.
And I put 2 silver bullets in it.
Everyone at tube position.
I
What?
I
Did you
chuckle a
say
little.
that?
I chuckle a little bit. Unzip the bag and show her just a bag full of grenades.
As you're driving, you see all this. Out
no
of
one
your
on the
one
road.
good eye.
Just a backpack
Look,
full of grenades.
As a driver, you have to be aware of your peripherals. Peripheral. Just the one. I ain't got none over here.
Your other peripheral is the bridge of your nose.
Yeah.
How crappy are we at driving if you're the best one at it?
I didn't see him coming up on my left.
No one else took drive, I don't believe. Ever.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not my fault, guys.
Okay. So everyone's at the ready.
But so.
But if we find a boat,
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll boat the crap out of that. Also, the wing commander has no pilot skill.
Huh.
The wing commander from the RAF has no pilot skill.
what's a paratrooper?
Okay.
He's good at falling.
So
He's only good at jumping out of planes. Falling.
What is it? Spot?
Sure.
Is there a spot
Spot
skill?
hidden.
Spot hidden.
Spot hidden. That's
Yeah.
the one. So everybody, give me a spot hidden.
I see it.
I see
Ah. Yeah, 33 out of 34.
it. 18. I penetrate it. I see through it.
I got a 27 on 44. I'm very excited.
Is that 100 or a 0?
That's 100.
That's
100.
That is a critical fail. Your eyes pop out of your skull and you die.
Sure did.
We'll roll you up another character next session, man. It's just
You
how
are
it goes.
oblivious.
We're like, hey, look over there, and you look the opposite direction.
You got a point.
You know that time that your wife is like, hey, can you get that off the shelf? And you're like, I don't see anything you're talking about. And then she reaches out in front of you and just grabs it. That's exactly what you're doing.
That's what happened. Yeah. One of us takes your head, turns it towards what we're looking at.
What do we see?
Yeah. What is this? What is this that we see? What is this that 4 out of 5 of us see?
I mean, that's almost two out of 3. And
That
as
ain't
we know,
bad.
that ain't bad. This is
That's
better
actually
than not
better.
bad.
That's better than 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Is this what you have to put up with every single
Every
time?
session.
Baby,
I'm
we
sorry.
can talk all night.
I mean,
In
it's
fact,
not
that's
a
what we're
whole
doing.
lot worse
But that ain't
than what
getting us
Matt had to
nowhere.
put
That ain't
up
getting us
with.
nowhere.
But
You have no
All right,
idea.
so
yeah,
those of us
So-
who succeeded.
those of you who succeeded. As you're driving by the next farm before you get to the village, you think you catch a glimpse of a white robed figure.
Nope, we're stopping. I'm not just driving past white robed figures. That is
Just
not
throw-
happening.
Just throw some grenades on our way past. It'll be fine.
You're clearly evil.
It's just one. It's just the one.
I mean, the commander said so.
So how do you react?
I
when
will
you think you see a
slow
person.
slow down in a safe fashion so as not to kill us all and come to a stop.
Give me a drive check. I'm kidding. Yeah. So you-
Critical fail. You slam on the accelerator and don't remove it for 20 miles.
Drive through the town. To another one.
Oh, saying?
so you come to a stop, and I assume everybody piles out of the car.
except Levon,
or-
he's like, "Why are we stopping?"
Well,
Yeah.
let's take.
Yeah.
Once we're stopped, why don't we take a few moments to look and get acquainted with our surroundings before we step out of the
Yeah.
transport?
I'm not sure
Right.
I want to get acquainted with our surroundings when white-robed, hooded figure over there could be, approaching us with devil dogs or whatever.
I hope they're diamond dogs.
So do I.
Oh yeah.
So what does anyone actually do? Because
Well,
I'm getting conflicting reports here.
I am going to stop and search out the back of the van. I don't know what the rest of the people are doing.
I will get out of the vehicle.
I'm getting out of the vehicle and training my weapon on the hooded figure, or at least low tuba position in
You're at a
figure's
Is the
general direction.
quarter trombone at this point.
I am. That's what she said. I'm not exactly sweeping him with the muzzle, but I'm letting him know that I can sweep the muzzle across him at a
And-
moment's
yeah.
notice.
And you definitely point your gun in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the empty woods from what you can see.
I don't see the white hooded figure
Do
any
not see
longer.
the white-hooded figure any longer.
Oh, good. The American shows up when he starts seeing things.
Cool.
Yes, clearly that's what's causing the problem.
There's nothing else weird.
Is the
It's always the
is the
Americans' fault.
canvas top on or off the?
I would think on because it'd
Yeah.
be rather cold
Then,
to
Yeah.
how,
dry.
then how
Yeah.
could we have all seen the white road?
Out the back.
So
Yeah.
we passed it and we saw it like I'm looking out this way and it's
Yeah,
over there.
I probably saw it in the rearview mirror.
Or we were
You might
looking
have seen
forward.
it as you drove past,
That's
and
true.
then it
And-
would have been a
sure.
mere few seconds, a
Okay.
1-2 count before anybody else would have seen it. So, but the stark whiteness of the robe against the
Brownish gray.
brown
Yeah.
greening of the trees would have stood out and caught everyone's attention.
I have a quick question. Do we have
Yeah.
any idea what Van Dyke looks like?
He wears a white robe.
Hangs out in the woods a lot.
Nobody asked that question of Frau Koppen.
That would have been a good question to ask.
Oh, I
maybe.
assume when we go to a village and we go, hey, where's
He's-
Dr. Van Dyke?
She did say he's the village doctor.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
really hard
okay.
to find
Cool.
the guy
Great.
So
until we shoot him in the woods. And then
Turns out it was just a lab coat.
Hung it up. I don't want to get my coat
And
dirty.
he was cold, so he put on a hat, kind of a big flowy hat. It looks
Yeah.
good.
You were
So
So
saying
carrying
are there,
it
in
inside.
are there
Shirley.
any indications that this may be like a dream or a spell or anything?
You want to roll
Dream.
dream? Is that a skill?
Yeah, it is not on the sheet, but it is a skill that we can use.
Okay.
Well, then I don't have it.
Yeah, you do. You have a base 5.
You're
Is that in the new edition? that's
No, it's
coming?
in the standard edition, but
Oh.
it's a optional that we have used in the other group.
no.
But basically, Dream
I'll
allows
let you roll Cthulhu Mythos.
Dream allows you to control the dream, which is not always good.
90 under 50.
Jesus.
So no.
Yeah,
My
it's
Cthulhu
Maria.
Mythos is 15. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says you are as in the real world as far as you can
as
tell.
you can tell, yeah.
So, is
Okay.
it like a stand of trees and then a field, or is it like just the woods?
It's like the woods on the edge of a property line.
Mm-hmm.
If that like you,
Okay, yeah.
I mean you're from Indiana. You know how it is. Like you come across one
Yeah.
And then it
place and then
goes right
there's
into there.
there's just some trees
Jack-
and then the next place down the road.
Jack, did you get out too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they-
I've got my gun pointing in the general direction of the
Of where it should have been.
of where the.
Well,
the
if he's
hooded
covering
figure
the
was.
area, I will try and go around, like through the trees.
Yeah, I was going
Well,
to say, is it on the property line where it could have walked from the field into the trees?
At this point, it would have had to have gone deeper into the trees, or cross the road, or cross the open field.
Okay.
So
So it's probably we would be able to see
you would
two
have
of
to
those.
you would have to cross open territory at some point to get over to where it was standing.
How far?
Like I don't know, 30 yards maybe because
Okay.
of the safe stop you took up with the truck.
30
Mhm.
meters.
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 Sure. Meters. 30 meters or so.
Commander, do we need to engage?
I don't think so. We just saw
Some shit.
something, but none of us are quite sure what.
Levon's over there like, yeah, I saw it too, guys. Totally saw it too.
Yeah, it was freaky, huh?
It's like a dragon, right? Dragon-like.
I'm just standing around like, why are we? Let's get back in the truck. Let's get on with this. Come on. You guys are looking at nothing. Bunch of
Right.
dopes.
Wow.
May I make a suggestion? Since we don't know where it went, or if we can or cannot follow it, we should just go about our mission, but keep a watchful eye out.
That was pretty much my take on it.
Alrighty. It'd be nice if I had another pair of eyes up here in the front if someone would ride up here with me.
I'll ride up front.
I don't
with
want to ride alone.
I'll ride up front with you.
And by another pair, I mean 2 more eyes.
A full
A pair of eyes. A pair in addition to the one that you currently, the
yeah.
single eye that you have.
And then if you see it, then 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You know where
He set
Meatloaf
that
was
up.
driving the vehicle.
This isn't Spice World.
Hey, maybe we can find paradise by the dashboard light.
I don't know any of Meatloaf's songs except 2 out of 3.
Are you kidding me?
Paradise by the Dashboard Light is
Right.
literally like the most famous one.
Something about bats out of hell, maybe.
That's the name.
Yeah, that's
Well,
from.
yeah.
That's
There's a lot
off-
of, like,
Paradise by the
piano-
Dashboard Light is off of Bat Out of Hell,
Oh,
the
yeah, no,
first
that's all I got.
album.
We can go through music history later.
Okay.
So you get back in the truck and
Yes.
drive off.
Yes.
Okay. So a couple miles further down the road, you enter the village proper,
Okay.
and you see people milling about. The arrival of your truck, of your military vehicle, is certainly of note to them. And you see a couple people, like, look after you, and a couple people call out trying to get you to stop and look at their store.
Okay.
But you have the mission of finding the doctor, so you head to the village square and stop.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you are, so you're there. You're in the village square, and a man steps forward, kind of portly, a little elderly, or little older, in his 50s, and he greets you in Belgian.
Flemish.
Flemish.
Well, you could greet us in German, Flemish, or French.
Then Flemish is the
Or full out Dutch. I mean, Dutch is its own language.
Well,
isn't it?
Flemish is basically Dutch with an accent.
Oh, okay.
sure. Then with a Flemish accent, he says, "Hello, welcome to Solmay. How can we help the British military?"
I'm looking to the commander. 'Cause I
Um,
don't want to interrupt him.
I also don't speak Belgian.
I was going to say, does
None of
anyone
us
speak that
No one
language?
speaks the Flemish.
Does anyone speak Dutch?
Nope.
I
No.
speak German.
I speak
English,
German.
German, and Russian.
I think we all speak German.
I speak German.
So
Well, first I will try English. I'm like, do you? Sorry, but do you speak English?
And he
And
shakes his head. And
I
To
will.
which he says, must be Americans.
I will try it in German
uh,
then.
okay, and then and then he says, "Oh, okay, yes, of course," and switches to German. It's not 100% fluent, but he can speak, but he doesn't have the full accent switch or whatever. His dialect isn't perfect. But he says, "Oh, okay, how can I help you?"
We were actually hoping to speak with you. We were told about your skills by a woman,
This-
Frau
well,
Koppen.
This isn't the doctor. This is just a dude.
Oh,
Actually,
Oh.
you would not
Yes.
recognize him as a doctor, but when you say we've come to speak
Yeah.
with Leon Van Dyke, he says, "Oh, well, you are in luck because I am the man you seek."
Awesome.
And Frau Koppen sent you.
yes.
What is there a medical problem that you need help with?
Not exactly medicine, but it would be best if we were to speak in private, I believe.
Okay. My office is over here, and he points to the a large-ish house for the village. It's got stone walls, 2 stories, so very well appointed. Clearly, the front office or the front area of the building is meant as a physician's office. You see people who are coming and going, getting. He has an apothecary working in the building as well. So there are people coming and going, doing village stuff. And he says, "Well, we can go to my dining room, just back through here," and he sort of leads you around. And then if everybody would get another spot hidden check.
40.
Uh,
Under
barely-
44.
Barely, but I see it.
I do not.
I see nothing. The dice are not working today.
What's your spot hidden score?
Ooh, I don't
25.
see it.
Yeah.
25. Oh yeah, you don't see anything.
Base.
I am in awe of his architecture.
Okay.
Did
I
you
look-
fail?
I look into the sun.
80.
There's an eclipse.
Oh,
is it
we
a-
are in trouble.
Is it a total eclipse?
Yes.
Of the heart?
Indeed.
Oh my
And I
god.
start to clutch my
You know,
heart.
once upon a time, I was falling in love.
Now
Now
you're only falling apart.
I'm only falling apart.
you're flailing apart. I think you should flail
Flail
apart. That's
apart.
way better.
So who saw it?
Me.
I did.
All right.
The captains.
So carved into the what do you call that? Above the door, lintel or
Yeah.
whatever. This
Sure.
there's basically the capstone of the door frame
In-
that's etched in there
in-
roughly.
Inside his building.
No, on the outside.
Okay.
Do you guys recognize this?
Can I roll a cult?
Sure.
Oh, look, I failed. So I got 18 over 5. Actually, I'm gonna stop to tie my shoe and lightly grab at
Evie?
McCrea's pants to stop her, and then when she stops, I'm gonna point up so she sees it.
Okay.
Okay. Do I need to roll a cult?
You should.
Come on, lucky dice. Be nice to me.
Just roll the dice.
Oh yeah, I got it. 30 under 80.
This particular symbol is not known to you, but give me a Cthulhu roll, Mythos roll.
Oh, now you're asking.
She also has theology, if that helps.
Okay.
It's right where your thumb is.
T.
Cthulhu
Okay.
Mythos.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking at both of them. All right. So
Man, you turn your back on the lucky dice
Yeah,
already.
Yeah.
Mm.
They helped her, and she doesn't
no.
care. It's an 11.
11 under 15.
All right. This definitely looks like something that came up in your studies, but the immediate significance doesn't come to mind. So you're going to have to mull that over for a little bit.
I recognize it, but I'm like, where is that from? Where is that
Right.
from? Where is that from?
Yeah.
So right now my concentration is going to be a little off because I'll follow you guys,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
trying to think of where I've seen that at.
Okay. So, yeah. So like I said, he brings you into basically the dining room of his house. He has a young woman working as a maid that you see, as you walk in, she kind of pulls up to do the proper bow and see to her employer's needs. And he says, "Can I get you, gentlemen and ma'am, anything to drink? Refreshments, tea, coffee."
T.
I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
I'm fine.
Don't drink from the well.
Levon,
9.
no.
9.
So
You want 9 drinks? That's a lot.
9 Donka.
You know what? That
9.
never gets old. I mean, funny. Funny was the word I was looking for.
9.
You burnt. Quiet.
You would know about unfunny.
So he says, 2, please, or tea for 2, Sophia.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
Tea
tea
for
for
two.
2 and 2 for tea. Me for you and you
For me. Got
for
it.
me.
Anyway,
You have to put the dramatic clause in.
so yeah, so she does a slight curtsy and ducks out through the door into the kitchen.
Ed is going to be our sound.
I'm going to be
stage
all
for
the
day.
musical cues.
So a lot of transition music. Yeah.
And
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
We're a little far north, just FYI.
That rhymed. Just a little far too north.
FYI.
You're welcome.
so he sits you down around the table and taking the head position says, "How can I be of assistance?"
I'll let Miss McCrea take over here.
Are you sure you want to let her interrupt you? You're the commanding officer.
He's giving me permission. It has come to our attention through Frau, what is her name?
Coppin.
Coppin.
Koppen?
Yeah.
Coppin.
Through I'll just start that all back over. It's come to our attention through Frau Koppen that you may have some knowledge about
Dreams.
what is it? No, not it's not dreams.
Was it not dreams, John?
It wasn't
It was
dreams.
a
It was
cult.
really yeah. I mean, do they call it a cult now? Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cult.
occult practices.
About occult practices.
Well, I mean, I have made a study of many different types of knowledge,
Right.
but I am a physician by trade. I primarily have studied practical medicine, life-saving techniques.
Right. And I am a researcher of such knowledge as well. But I've come across some things that I thought you might have more knowledge about than I do. I'm trying to remember what I told her.
I don't know.
Sorry, Shirley's having a brain issue. What did I go over with the Frau about? I mean, I'm trying to remember exactly because I told her a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember exactly what.
What
Because she said he would probably have more information about what the old ones.
he was researching anything to do with curing diseases or that, and was willing to explore a lot of different territories, specifically warding off.
Warding. That was it.
The
Okay.
spirits that were
Right.
was the question.
Okay, got it. So many years ago, I came across a situation where there was a group of individuals which had kidnapped other individuals and chained them to an obelisk. And they were chanting. And they were trying to bring about, through a portal, something else from an otherly world. And when I described this situation to the Frau, she said that you may have information about keeping things like that from happening.
I'm not sure what the lady was talking about.
Can I roll psychology?
Sure.
P in alphabetical order. 30 under
100.
45.
All right, 30 works. He seems to be hesitating. Perhaps he's hiding something. But then again, you are just strangers off the street asking him
Right.
about the Cthulhu mythos. So
So
So let's get him drunk.
I'll I'll speak up. So why would the Frau mislead us like that?
Or maybe she thought that you had more knowledge than you actually have. Because if you don't know about it, then that's fine. We can seek out other means of knowledge. But she said you were a very knowledgeable man in most, in some occult situations.
I admit that I have studied some strange and esoteric histories.
Esoteric, that's the word.
Okay. Histories and but I don't know if any. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my mind, off the top of my head, that would pertain to what you're saying. I don't know why she would have thought of me, but I have researched that. But it's like I said, my primary goal is medicine and healing of the sick. So I don't know why she would consider me an authority in that respect.
Well, maybe not. She didn't exactly say an authority, but she said that you may have more knowledge than she does because she's very practiced in the old religions and knowledge of those. But this is otherworldly. It isn't an old religion. It's otherworldly.
There may be some texts left over that I have not given up on or given away that you might be of interest to you, and they aren't anything useful in my profession, but they're interesting books. I might be able to dig them out of my study. Do you have time to wait while I look into that?
Gentlemen, do we have time to...
No one's given us new orders to do anything else, so yeah.
We're just still doing the patrol thing, and I've got the troops doing that.
I'd be happy to help you as well. Maybe move things around for you.
A pair of strong arms would come in handy. Yes.
I'll help search, move, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
and then
perhaps then I could suggest that you find your way across the square to the Gerard Tavern, the rest of you, and that you can make yourselves comfortable there while we dig out the books. They're probably upstairs in the study, I would think.
we should have definitely thought about signals.
If you hear gunshots, that's the signals. Come over. I know how this goes.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, I don't want these guys to leave, and I don't know how to tell them not to leave.
Well, we said that we would help move,
yeah.
so
Well,
we'll be around.
I'm going down there as well, just to take the texts from him, or up there as well to take the text from him.
Okay.
So
So the commander and poor Jack are going over to the tavern.
Well, I would
Are you
plan to help
guys-
out too, but
Oh, good. Well, just all stay here.
yeah, it kind of sounded
We'll
like
just stay
everyone
here.
was willing to help.
We'll just stay here.
Yeah. No, just go get this knocked out.
Well, I mean, while I admit that, you know, the more help usually is useful, there's limited space upstairs. I don't know, and I would, you'd probably be more comfortable across the way at the tavern.
Why are you trying to get rid of us?
I'm not trying to get rid of you. I'm trying to be a polite host that
yeah, if
you
it
don't
does-
all
if
want to
doesn't
go
have
up into a
to
dusty
attic.
old study and work like we can't all fit in the room.
You know
So-
what? I haven't been in a
Wait.
dusty old
I'll tell-
study in a long time. I'd love to.
I'm gonna lean over while
The
he's
more cramped, the better.
arguing with Jack and just say, "What was that symbol?" to McCrea.
In English,
Yeah.
So has my memory been jogged yet?
not yet.
I'm not sure. I know I've seen it somewhere, but I don't
Is it occult related?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I know that I've seen it in some of my research. I just don't understand. Like, it's there at the edge.
So I
you
find
know,
it
I can't-
strange, Doctor, that you would have an occult symbol scrawled on your door frame.
I need to.
I'm sorry. What?
Just outside, right here, and I'll like
Because you walk back out the front door.
yeah,
Okay.
like it's right here on your door, or right outside on your door. I won't walk out the door because then we'd be screaming out on the street where all the cultist villagers will kill us. We're not paranoid at all.
Right? So you go, but you do go back out front to
Yeah.
point at it.
Yeah.
So when you get back out there, you look at it again, and now it's the lines are there, but they're not as deep as they were. It looks more like the stone was just not as smooth on the front side as it should have, as it might have been. It looks more natural. You can still see, like, how do I want to phrase this? It looks like a natural stone, but like there's a crack for one of the lines and a crease where the rock was
Where the
cut.
rock
But it was
cut.
definitely
it-
not that.
Oh no, it was gouged
Carved
with
in.
a chisel, like a rock, like a rock chisel before.
like a rock hammer.
Yes.
That's
Andy
the
Dufresne has
second
been
thing.
here.
Uh huh.
Andy Dufresne's a time traveler too? Wow.
Well, he did crawl through miles.
He also entered jail shortly after World War II, if you remember the timeline.
It's
correctly.
true.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Time travel.
My friend Andy Dufresne.
Well, I'm saying he probably fought in World War II, so
then
he might have been here before as a young man.
Yeah, doctor, real quick. Do you know anyone named Andy Dufresne?
You mean my assistant?
What?
I like how the Dutchman suddenly became,
Yeah,
a hick.
old colonel, old Southern colonel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just a Flemish doctor.
And then, so he comes out and he's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't see what you're seeing.
Are we carrying our guns?
I would think just your sidearms at this point, but if you want to say you're...
And probably like 4 grenades.
That's
essentially
that's
my sidearms. Besides my pistol.
Yeah, he's got to compensate for his blind side.
Yeah. With explosives.
Hard to miss with a grenade.
Yeah.
It's really hard to miss. Because I don't have to know depth perception. I just have to get in the general area.
In a few feet.
Yeah.
So how far out of the door are you guys standing?
Oh, I'm not standing that far out the door.
No, just a step or two. Like, if you were to go out your front door and want to look at the area directly above it.
Are you standing behind him, like in
Probably
the way?
beside him.
Yeah, probably side by side with everybody else inside. So yeah, he's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Was it? I'm sorry, your name again was?
Captain Loveridge.
You have an interesting accent. Might I ask where you're from?
I'm a Kiwi.
New Zealand.
Yes.
Very interesting. I've never met anyone from New Zealand before. This is a banner day. And how did you find yourself in the service of the British here in Belgium?
Well, years ago, my forefathers took over the islands of New Zealand. And then I was born sometime later, and I enlisted. Or I went into for officer training.
And they assigned you all the way over here, huh?
Yes, I'm on special assignment.
That must be hard. Do you miss your family?
I'm sorry. Am I am I off to think that
he
I just accused him of
psychologically
occult
himself?
bullshit, and now he's like, "Do you miss your family?"
So
I mean, that's what happened, but
So that should seem weird to me, right?
maybe.
okay, so right as that is happening, Evie stands up and readies her shotgun and points it at
Oh,
him
Lord.
and tells him to come in the house. What do you do?
I think you should listen to the lady and stop talking about my family.
I meant no offense.
I think you
I'm
should.
Stop
sorry
talking.
I'm going to ask everyone to leave now. I do not appreciate.
I need you to
This
stop talking,
treatment.
please, and come in the house.
No, I think you should leave, or I will summon.
The constabulary?
Yeah.
She looks
You know
at
what?
the captain.
Let's do that, and I head out to the truck to go get my machine gun.
Seriously.
Well, this escalated fast.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you let the American be in charge.
Yeah.
Gun-toting.
Gun-toting cowgirl, yeah.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Give her a horse to ride around in circles. She
you,
guns in the air.
you guys don't even know what's happening.
I want everyone to leave. You all need to leave. I'm going to go find the sheriff or whatever, the constable, and have you.
How about we
have
just walk
you-
over there right now?
No, we don't want to go. You know what? I'm out of the truck. Doesn't matter.
Why
Go
are you
right
out in
ahead.
the truck?
Because I'm getting my gun.
Oh my god.
So Frau Koppen
Why
mentioned that this gentleman had a strange aura about him.
She didn't like him. Yeah.
Are we? Well, she specifically said he had a.
Yeah.
Are we picking up anything on that?
You want to roll me occult while studying the doctor?
I can try.
You can try.
Nope.
94 out of 5.
77 under 80.
Well, I'm gonna go with this is just that. This is just
Sure.
Because I've been looking at him.
21 over 5,
Okay.
so I was closer to missing.
Because I'm trying to I'm looking at him and remembering the symbol and looking at him and remembering the symbol and trying to figure out where I saw the symbol before.
Right now, nothing's coming to mind.
Right.
And he's starting to raise a ruckus, and people are
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
People are gathering about.
I'll drop my gun.
Let's put the guns away. That's probably
That's
not the
gonna be-
best of.
Yeah.
Awkward when I come back with a gun.
Yeah.
What was that? Bring more guns?
More gun. Oh,
I-
so we're just using grenades. Got it.
Did you say
Same
you say
page.
more guns or no more guns?
I drop it and I skirt around him to get on the other side of him, so I'm outside
Well, he
of
would
his
give
house.
you. He would step away and let everyone out the door.
Yeah.
I will apologize to him.
No, go ahead.
Why don't you sack up and just like walk out like a man?
No. He can apologize. That's fine.
Let him
Apologize for someone randomly pulling a gun on him.
It was a random. Well, okay.
It was kind of random.
I mean, she's American.
That's true.
There's no randomness about that.
So does everyone exit the house?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So everybody's leaving the house as I come back with my machine
Yeah.
gun.
I have a.
No, take it back. Take it back. Take it back to the truck. We don't need the machine gun.
As you're coming toward me, I'm coming toward you, and
That's how that works.
yeah, no, but I put my hand on your shoulder, and I'm like, "There's more going on here than."
Oh, I picked up on that.
Yeah. Well, if he would have kept talking, he may have been putting a spell on you guys.
Put a spell on you.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
I have a question.
'Cause you're mine. I'm sorry.
With cryptography, is there any way I could figure out what that symbol is, or no?
Oh.
No.
No. Okay, cool. That's why I figured. I just want to try it
What
anyway.
about military doctrine?
I have
so,
a lot of that.
So, Commander, are you stopping me before I go back to the house?
Yes.
Yeah, no, we need to figure. That's why I put my hand on your shoulder.
Oh, I
like, we
didn't.
need to figure out what's going on here, and we need to figure out how he is involved. And
Yes, I agree with all of those things. I'm going to go do that.
no, you cannot. You can't kill him.
I
I just want.
Nobody said
information.
anything about killing him. I
You
I
have a
probably said that
machine
just a
gun.
little bit too loud.
In English though, so nobody understands what you're saying. Apparently.
Sure.
You can't let just
Commander, he started
you
asking
guys
about my family.
coming
I'd like
Yes.
to ask him about why.
because he was trying to get in
No,
your head.
that's not how that works.
Yes, it does. Believe
He wants
me.
to ask the doctor, not the lady that pointed a gun at him.
It's because I knew what he was doing, and I wanted him to stop.
I'm waiting for anybody to state an action because you guys are
I'm
just
gonna-
standing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Unless
I make my way to the bar. I've said, you guys bicker and whatever. When you're figuring it out,
going to
I'll-
Gaston's Tavern.
I'm going to Gaston's Tavern. That's what I'm doing.
It started with a G. It's close. Gerard's.
Gerard.
I'm going to Gerard's Tavern. You figure it out, and I'll be in there drinking.
I'm going back to the truck.
All right.
I'd like to discuss with this man why he was asking me about my family, sir.
I understand that. But I also understand that one of the members of our group just pulled a gun on him unprovoked.
So I'll hand you my machine gun and I'll go talk to him.
If you can, meet the rest of us at the bar when you're done.
Sure.
I'm just saying, it wasn't unprovoked. He
So
was
I
trying
hand
to
off my
get into
machine
your
gun.
head. And, like,
And go alone into the.
I don't think this is the best course
Yep.
of action.
Sure do.
Well, then
All right.
you convince him
Okay.
otherwise, but I've
All right,
learned
so-
not to try to convince him otherwise of these
So
things.
we've had 3 statements of going to the tavern. Is
Plus
that correct?
The sheriff's
yeah,
looking
it's fine.
for
That's
us.
where we go.
I'm going to
And
We're gonna have a
Tavern.
shootout at the tavern.
maybe.
Evie, do you?
Uh,
Where do you go? Do you sit in the truck alone, or do you go to the
Ah,
tavern?
so I still have my rucksack with me.
You never checked in
Why
your
are
room.
you not checking your, you can't take
no,
a backpack?
No, nobody's taking my backpack.
She's got literally her entire world on her back. That's
Nobody's taking my backpack.
I mean, this is kind of fair. This was what McCrea would do after
yeah.
those nights.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's funny.
She's just carrying this giant duffel
Yeah.
bag everywhere she goes.
Terribly inconvenient.
No, it's not.
She starts pushing. A
You know what's
shopping
inconvenient?
cart.
What's inconvenient is when you're trying to save a werewolf and the freaking professor just shoots it with a ray of energy and murders it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's
That's what's inconvenient.
Anyway, so
True story. It happened.
I'm trying to
believe it.
jog my memory even more.
So,
So
you want
they do, because they're obviously not even listening to reason. I go back to the truck.
Hold on, you pulled a gun.
Wow.
On a stranger.
Wow.
I knew what was going to happen.
Wow.
I go back to the truck and I get my notebooks out and I'm like flipping through them furiously
Okay.
to try to see if I can find.
We're not listening to reason. You pulled a gun.
So, walking across the street to the tavern, you see several people kind of like milling about, looking back and forth at each other, following you in, or following you over. Everybody give me a spot hidden.
Everybody?
Or everybody going to the tavern, sorry.
Is it very far?
Wink.
Can I see them?
It's across
3.
it's across the
Yeah.
square.
Okay.
I see the thing that I'm looking for and everything that it has ever touched.
I can't see
32
anything today.
Wow. That's
32
Um,
of 34.
so 2 of you.
I got 100. I'm deep in my notebooks.
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
You're cross-eyed, somebody
it's
slaps
really
you on
hard
the
to
back
s-
and it sticks that way.
It's really hard to see anything when you're carrying that giant rucksack
You know what?
all the time.
So Jack McKenzie sees the symbol carved into, like, I guess, I imagine horses still come and go out of a small village like this.
Yeah,
This era,
sure.
not everybody's owns a car, so I guess a hitching post would be the right word. Is planted in front of. There's a little grass area. And a water trough, and you can see kind of peeking up through the weeds around the bottom of the scratching post or the hitching post. Somebody has carved that symbol down there as well.
Hey, here's that symbol again.
Do you say it out loud?
No,
In English?
he just-
Well, he would only be talking to these 3 at this point because
Yeah.
you're in the truck.
I know.
So you pointed
Achtung,
out.
Looking Z at der
Yeah.
Marken.
What are
What
you,
about
the Swedish
American?
chef of German?
Ja, bork, bork, bork.
All right, so I will bend down and investigate it.
Okay. Like I said, so this is the symbol, and it's across 2. The major lines are just plus sign, and then there, for this describe it for our listeners at home, you have a plus sign with a line on the far left-hand side that is even, extending up and down, and then there is a line.
All of the lines are at right angles. They either go straight up and down
yeah.
or left to right.
Right. So, so you have the plus sign, and then there's a line that extends up and down from on the far left. In the middle of the gap to the left, there's a line that extends down only. You cross over the center line and come to at the midway point, come to a line that again extends evenly up and down. Then come towards the end of the right hand side of the crosshair, and the line extends up. And then near the end of the long vertical line, there is a horizontal line crossing that. So yeah, so like I said, that this marking is not deeply gouged in, like the one carved into the stone was deeply gouged. This one looks more like it was carved in a few minutes in the wood. It is fresher, I would say. Obviously not carved minutes ago, but it's not super weathered by your guess. If you had woodworking as a skill, you would say it's newer than older.
You don't know about Jack's long experience with woodworking?
I don't. It's not in his backstory. Sorry. So you guys go in, and everybody turns and looks at you because you're new faces in a small town. and by everybody I mean like probably 2 people plus the staff of the tavern, which probably amounts to 2 people. And they greet you in Flemish and ask ask a question of you. You quickly realize, or they, you quickly, speak up in German because that was, or check English and then German, or.
We can just go straight to German.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, I take that back. Let's check English first.
Nobody there seems to speak English.
Okay.
Or at least doesn't speak up, but they do speak German.
Mhm.
So, and he says, what can I get you, gentlemen?
I think we'll just order a round of drinks instead of the table.
What drinks? Beer?
Probably beer.
Beer?
Like maybe a Belgian wheat.
3 beers.
3 beers.
Sorry.
Yeah.
3, sorry.
3, yeah. Okay. And and he sits you down, or you sit down, and
3 Bieren, bitte.
the waitress comes over and says, says your drinks. Are you sure you wouldn't like anything to eat? Sausage and cheese.
Ooh, sausage. I'll take some sausage.
This is sausage country.
Yep.
Sure, we can have. We'll order some
A
basic
cheese
meals.
plate. Okay.
A charcuterie plate.
Yes, that's the word.
Is it locally sourced?
What else would it be at this point?
Fair enough. Okay.
There's very little industrialization at the.
Certified organic.
Yep.
I'm upset because I saw certified organic salt, and that just upset me.
Where?
It was like at Whole Foods or. It's like it's literally not organic.
Yeah.
It can't be.
No chemicals were used in digging the salt out of the ground.
Yeah.
Have this bottle of water. No
yeah.
chemicals whatsoever.
Gluten-free water. Yeah. So so you guys say yes to some food, and she kind of says okay and wanders away. And yeah, so you're sitting there, mostly left to yourselves.
Okay.
Back at the doctor's house,
Yes.
he's gone inside and shut the door.
Oh, I'm just going to open the door and walk in.
It's barred against entry.
I will pound heavily on the door.
Who is it?
Captain Loveridge, I'd like to have a conversation with you.
And you see him, I guess, peek out the little window in the door, maybe.
Sure.
And you're alone?
Did I? Yes.
You hear the latch open and the
Kick
door.
it in and shoot. No.
Give me some answers, old man.
Yeah, he opens the door and says, "What do you want to talk about?"
Why were you asking about my family? And please don't feed me your stories.
Concern for me.
It was merely an observation, sir.
That wasn't an observation.
It was a question because you are so far from home.
We're asking you about occult matters and wards, and you began talking about my family.
I meant no offense. You are from a nation that is far distant from here, serving in a military that, while, yes, runs your country, generally they don't reassign men such as yourself so far from home, I wouldn't think. That just sparked the,
Why are you being uncooperative with us?
I'm not. I offered to help to dig out the
You claim
tomes
that Frau Koppen, who I have met and spent quite a bit of time with, has given us false information, and I don't believe that is what Frau Koppen would do. Why are you insisting, quite suspiciously, that you know nothing of wards?
I do not know how to assuage your
You
fears.
could try by giving me the full truth.
I'm telling you the full truth, to the best of my knowledge. I'm
rolling psychology.
okay.
I'm not going to make it. No.
Yeah. He tells you, he's like, I'm not lying to you. I did consult Frau Koppen on
And she never,
on matters related to medical research.
and she never spent time learning from you or anything like that.
No, I went to learn from her. She is a person of great renown and skill in the ways of ancient medical practices that I wish to adopt into modern medical practices. Many of my colleagues, and he gives this spiel about modern medicine, ignoring the wisdom of the old ways, and so on and so forth.
So you claim that Frau Koppen is renowned,
Yes.
worthwhile to study under, but also lies about your knowledge of wards. It's strange how well you speak of her.
Mistaken, not lied. She was mistaken. I did ask these questions of her just to see if she had knowledge of anything that, like I said, my modern colleagues would call her practices occult and unfounded in the ways of science. I am more open-minded, and I sought her knowledge in these matters. And it was an interest of mine, but it was, for the most part, it proved fruitless. I have moved on from such things. And while, again, I was collecting the knowledge, yes, I admit it, and I do likely still have some of the texts that I discovered up in my room, up in my study. I meant no offense when I brought up your family. As I said, it was just a question, an observation, a fancy that came across my mind. Can I ask you a question, though?
Sure.
Why did it upset you? I'm just wondering.
Because I'm not sure what happened to my family, and they're gone.
You've suffered a loss.
Sure.
You have my deepest sympathies. I too have suffered a loss. My daughter, she died many years ago when she was young. It was a disease that I have yet to identify. It ravaged her body and stole her from me when she was only 6 years old. The grief took my wife a few years later. I understand loss. And I apologize for upsetting you. It was not my intention.
So Frau Koppen is mistaken and you know nothing of wards.
I don't know if I know anything of use. As I said, I'm more than willing to show you the texts that I have collected over the years, and we can and I'd be happy to discuss matters with someone other than your gun-toting American friend out there.
Let's go get those texts.
Okay. So at this point, Jack, he's going to continue talking.
Who's Jack?
Sorry, Kauri.
He's
Yeah,
Jack.
they're right
I
here.
assume he's turning
They're right
around. He's turning around and heading.
Yeah.
I'm going to unbuckle, but not pull my gun. Just make sure that it's easily accessible. I don't have to fiddle with the snap.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm walking into this guy's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
If I can quietly pull back the hammer, I'll do that. But if not, I'm not worried about it.
At this point, it would be ill-advised to
Sure.
hammer back on your pistol.
Sure.
Because it would be an obvious.
Yeah.
But yes, it is. The button is snapped and it's ready for quick draw.
Okay.
And we're gonna make I'm gonna need to ask you to make a power check.
So okay. Is it POW versus POW?
Power versus power.
So that's you making that check.
that'd be. No, you're gonna be resisting.
So
I
that's
don't-
still you making. According to the
Okay.
rules as is, that's still you making the check. If you want me to roll it, we can do that. You tell me what his POW is, and we can look at the resistance table.
Okay. Yeah, get out the resistance table, I guess.
It just depends on. I mean, it's 5% per
per-
every point
Okay.
above or below.
What's your power?
Mine's 15.
Okay. He's got an 18, so that's
So
a
he'll
point
be
of 3.
up, he'll be up 15%, which means I have to make. So for him to succeed would be a 65 or better, which means
Yeah.
I need to roll a 35 or under.
Yes.
Normally, how I would invert
Yeah.
that. Okay.
35 or under.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Do you have any vampiric resistances you could break out at this point?
Do I get bonuses for having that talisman?
No.
Okay. So no, I don't.
I didn't know if vampires were harder to mind
Oh,
control or.
yeah. No, they're probably easier.
So yeah, so he starts talking about his daughter, and you find yourself talking about your family back home.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, but he seems to have lulled you into a sense of security in this place.
Sure.
You feel safer, and you find yourself talking about things that you perhaps would not have moments before he started talking.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys spend an hour digging through boxes in his study,
Okay.
and he starts, occasionally he'll put a book aside, be like, yes, this will be one that you'll want to look at, and here's another one, and so on. So he seems to be producing exactly what he promised
Sure.
to do. Meanwhile, Evie, you need to make another occult check for me.
Okay. 55 under 80.
Okay. The symbol that you find, or the notes that you find in your book, in your notes, in your notebooks, it assigns this symbol to a different realm. And Evie has, in the history of the character, Evie hasn't had a lot of experience with other realms, the Dreamlands or whatnot.
She's aware of the Dreamlands at least.
Aware, but
Aware, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, so the concept of a place that's not Earth, it's not the notes are very limited. It just said, it just kind of indicates it's not a pleasant place. It's not a place that you would want to go, wherever this symbol is tied to.
Okay.
The last note is, how do I want to phrase it? It's a lack of. No, that's not how I want to phrase it. The last note it indicates that it is a place that lacks suffering. So back at the tavern, you guys are having a drink, and you start to notice that after the initial excitement of new travelers has kind of died down, the locals that came in behind you just to see what you're up to ate their meal, had their beer, and kind of wandered off. The bartender and the waitress, who you've come to assume are like a married couple, the way they talk to each other and the lack of other people around, it strikes you as they have they stopped doing anything. They sort of like settle into a place. The barkeep has a rag and he just sort of wipes the same spot a lot.
Are they looking at us, or
No.
he's just kind of in his own?
He's just
little
kind of in
world?
his own.
Can
Yeah,
I
he's
scan the room for more symbols?
sure. Spot in.
I'll do that too.
I'll try again.
Yeah, if there's something to find, I find it. I got
Nope.
I
I
got
had
a
that earlier
a
today.
4.
33. I am barely making these.
Anyway.
Scanned around the bar.
Okay.
Scan around the bar.
I've scanned around the bar, and
Me and
I got
Captain McKenzie got it.
I got a 4.
I just keep
rolled
drinking.
another 90. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not
You
my
need a new
day.
dice set.
Like, what's
No.
going on around here, guys?
You know,
You're gonna just Mr. Magoo your way into everything, aren't you?
well,
I mean, after the elevator, he's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, yeah,
he's kind of got a.
guess my senses are
Yeah.
deadened or something. I don't know.
Ears are still ringing from all the shots.
You have a
It somehow
really
affects my
bad
vision.
tinnitus.
Yeah, and it hurts my eyes.
You
I
have
don't know.
synesthesia and tinnitus.
Yeah,
See the ringing.
you don't see the symbol anywhere, but you notice the pattern that the bartender is wiping the counter off on is line, short line, side, horizontal line, short line, swipe, and it's only slightly unnatural in the way that he does it because he repeats it, again and again.
Right.
So
And what did-
normally, wipe back and forth or maybe do circles occasionally or something. And he's standing there just line, line, so on and so on and so on.
Right.
And what did you say the waitress was doing?
She's just kind of settled into the corner. She's just standing there. Like she could sit down.
And she doesn't have like
She
a book
doesn't.
or anything.
No,
just
she's
staring
just
off.
kind of lost her focus and is over in the corner.
So
listless.
she's staring in the space, basically, or
Yeah, like
Are
you
her
do.
eyes repeating that pattern?
You want to get close enough to find out?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I'll get it. I'll go over to her.
We will point it out to him.
You said girl, and Levon was on it.
Right.
Whoa.
He's establishing character. I like it.
That's fine.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's staring up the space. Like, I want to know what the heck's going on. So I go over to her.
How do you approach her? Do you walk right up to her and stand?
I have my a drink in my hand,
Uh-huh.
and I say, I couldn't notice that you were alone.
Buongiorno.
Yeah. So
Turn on the
like,
Italian charm.
yeah,
What is a
yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
woman like you doing
And-
in a place like this?
And I say, I've been smelling these guys for days. They're just dude all the time, and I'm just had it. Can I sit down and maybe just talk for a bit with you? Would that be all right?
Do you get in front of her face, or do you speak from a distance and approach slowly or approach calmly?
I calmly approach her.
Okay.
And when I'm within, heck, let's say 5 feet, I
Sure.
start to speak to her.
I'm sorry, you're from Italy. 5 feet doesn't work. You're gonna
I don't know the conversion.
About a meter and 71.5 centimeters.
Yeah.
All right, so
A meter and a
when,
half.
when I get to the length of my height,
Okay.
then I'll start talking to her.
But you want specifically her eyes were mentioned. Are you looking for? What are you looking for as you approach her? Would be my question, I suppose.
I'm looking to see if she responds to someone interacting with her.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, as soon as you start speaking to her, like you said, approaching, not before, because she clearly would have, potentially could have seen you or heard your footsteps. But the moment you interacted with her, she turns and says, "Oh, yeah, you." So you said, "What did you?" Sorry,
I said, I've been smelling dudes for days. I'm
And you
with
wanna
these
talk
guys
to the
all the
pretty lady?
time. Yeah, I'd rather
sure.
maybe just speak to you for a bit if that's all right.
Yeah, so she she just breaks right in and says, "Well, I mean, I'm happy to talk with well-traveled strangers. My husband," and she kind of indicates the barkeep, and I don't see many travelers from outside the area. And she totally drops the husband line, just so you know.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to talk to you, but taken.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, no offense taken, no offense meant. She's willing to talk with you.
There's no harm in conversation.
No,
that's all.
not at all, exactly. But what I'm trying to describe to you is she was possibly deep in thought, like she was gone, checked out mentally, but she just fell into that conversation. Whereas other people might like start like when they realize that somebody's talking to them, or like kind of come out of people come out
Like,
of
was
that
she
mode.
like startled, or was she just like dead, and then all of a sudden she just comes to life?
She just was in that conversation as smooth as anyone, and
Okay.
so I would say that almost was weird in her reaction, that she did not start, or she should have noticed you coming closer because your steps were coming, but it wasn't until you directly engaged her with words that she came around.
All right. Well,
but yeah, she's willing to talk.
Okay.
It's
like, do you mind if I ask you a question? I was sitting over there, and I wasn't admiring your beauty. I know you have a husband. We're not gonna go there. But I just got lost in your eyes for a moment, and looks like your eyes were lost in something themselves. Do you mind if I ask what was on your mind before I came over?
Oh, just the everyday things, the thinking about the dinner, the dinner we're going to prepare for the customers, and the washing that needs to be done, and blah blah blah. This, and talks about chores.
Yeah.
Which she wasn't doing. She would have. She could have. There's no other customers. You guys were, more or less taken care of. Her husband was there. You would expect her to have gone off and done some other work.
Yeah. Well, I asked her, so you just have time here to sit? I mean, there's just the three of us here, but still it seems like this is a business where a lot of stuff needs to be done.
Oh, sure. There's washing and this, that, and the other thing to do. And but it'll get done. I have time to talk right now if you wish.
Oh, here's a wacky question. My friends, I think they're trying to pull my leg and pull a joke on me. They said that they all saw this dude in a robe as we're coming into town. I didn't see it. Anyone ever mention anything like that to you around here?
A man in a robe.
Yeah, I think they said it was like a white robe.
I mean, the only person I could imagine dressed anything like that would be the priest if he was wearing the vestments. Without the frock that goes over the top, the tabard that goes over the top, whatever it's called. But yeah, he wears the white of the priesthood.
Yeah, that's neat. But yeah, it's just kind of weird. My friends just saw him for a moment, and then it almost seemed like he disappeared. You ever hear about the priest doing anything like that, or?
No, that would be extremely strange. I
That
agree.
is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what that could have been, or who that could have been.
I take a big drink.
Okay. And then she starts asking, so forgive me if this is rude, but your accent is unfamiliar to me. Where are you from?
Italy, originally.
Oh, yes. There are troubles over there, aren't there?
Well, there's troubles everywhere.
Indeed. What brings you here to Belgium and in the company of the British military?
Well, like we said, there's trouble everywhere, and I'm just looking to rub it out.
Oh, so you are a fighter.
I've been known to fight when necessary. I've seen some
combat.
things. I've seen some things.
Drink. That's horrible. Were you? Sorry, I'm suddenly drawing a blank. She asked you about any major events that happened that might have gotten into the newspapers, like because at this point in time, Mussolini's taking over or has
Already taken over.
taken over. Basically she's asking about what side you were on in that conflict.
Well, I have no love for Mussolini.
Oh,
That's why one of the reasons that I am not in Italy right now.
so you were one of the rebels.
If that's what you want to call it, we can say that.
And she asks, were you involved in some of the fighting? Did you have to hurt people?
Unfortunately, sometimes people need to be hurt.
Have you lost anyone? Did your family, your friends, your wife, are they anything? Are they still okay?
I have family back in Italy. I've not seen them in some time.
You miss them though, right?
Who doesn't miss their family?
Indeed, that's yes, of course. Who doesn't? Who wouldn't miss their family so far from home? But
What about your family? Are they all here?
well, I have my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I have my husband. She sort of trails off, leaves it hanging there.
Okay. Cut to somebody else. I'm
Okay.
out of ideas.
All right.
All right. Well, that is a great place for us to take a break. We have other podcasts over at nerdsdom.com, and you can check those out. And until then, we'll talk to you guys next week. And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us over on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/nerdsdomain and twitter.com/nerdsdomain. You can also check out our site at nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Passion Nerdly for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain and check out our shirts at TeePublic.